And of course, we just got a new track on Hurricane Matthew. We want to find out the very latest on this massive storm.
Yeah, we should start feeling the effects tomorrow, Rob.
Yeah, tomorrow. Certainly by this time we'll be kind of in the soup, if you will. But the track didn't change that much. The intensity forecast did change just a little bit off the coast and in our favor. So we'll tell you all about it. Right now we have actually two storms, two hurricanes going on at the same time. Nicole on the right and, of course, Matthew on the left. We're more concerned about Matthew, but it's just interesting that they are relatively close together. Kind of reminds me back in 1989. Remember, we had Hugo and then we had Tropical Storm Iris. Iris got too close to Hugo and Iris actually went away. Hugo became just a little bit stronger. Winds are 130 miles an hour moving northwest at 13. The pressure is 939 millibars. And the best part about having radar now is we can really look inside the storm. You see those rain bands coming around. There's the eye wall and the eye there in the center where it's generally pretty quiet, but around the eye wall, that's the worst weather. And still moving to the north and west, we do believe it's going to come really close to the Florida coast, if not making some sort of a landfall as it kind of skirts up the east side of the Sunshine State, then paralleling Georgia and South Carolina. Now, what's going on in the atmosphere right now? We know we have a high pressure to the north. That's actually pinching the storm and keeping it close to the coast right now as it moves on to the north. It is breezy, has been breezy for a while. You may say, does this have anything to do with Matthew? In a way it does, because Matthew, the lower pressure coupled with the high pressure to the north, causing what we call a tight pressure gradient, where we speed up the air in motion. That's what wind is, and that's why it's been windy or breezy throughout the course of the day. We do see a few showers now as we're starting to see maybe the extreme northern fringe of Matthew, but these showers are just because of that onshore wind flow. Here are the new computer model runs hugging the coast. That's nothing new, still hugging the Georgia coast as well, and we do have some of the models that bring the center of the storm into South Carolina, but the majority of the models do make that right-hand turn that we hope would happen sooner than later. And then you're going to hear about this loop-to-loop. The model's really picking up on that, and you'll see that in the official track. But we'll kind of ignore this side and really concentrate on what's going on now because, again, probably weakening to a Category 3 hurricane is going to encounter that is some shear, some upper-level winds that will start to tear it apart a little bit, and it's going to be close to land, so the circulation will be disrupted just a little bit. But what we've got to keep an eye on, these 2 points here, that's 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. Winds offshore will be 105 miles an hour, clustered right near the center, and then bending around, the winds down to 85 miles an hour, a Category 1 hurricane, and again, still the wind field will be about 60 miles from the center, at least the hurricane force winds. Here is our future radar. You see the winds as well around that, and this shows you that counterclockwise circulation. If you've been around here for a while, you know what happens when you get these rain bands on, very squally weather. The rain comes in sheets, and then the winds really pick up. This is 11 o'clock. This is 24 hours from now, and already you can see some of the heavier rain is just down to the south, but some of the rain has already moved in with that good onshore wind flow. Here we are Saturday morning. We think the most impactful weather will be overnight tomorrow night and through the morning on Saturday at 5 o'clock in the morning. The center will be just to our south, but the strongest winds and the heaviest rain will be right on top of us. We're still dealing with this all the way into the late morning and lunchtime, and then into the afternoon, finally starting to pull away. But for our viewers up in Berkeley County, also Williamsburg and Georgetown, up into Horry County as well, you'll have to deal with it through the afternoon. And then finally by, let's say, 48 hours from now, we'll get this storm out of here. We'll get that down sloping wind to dry things out just a little bit, and we can say goodbye to Matthew. So the precipitation forecast looking this way, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and I've kind of taken out just a chunk. It's not just going to rain during this time period, but these appear to be the times where we've got the heaviest rain, and you can see if you add them all up, that's a lot of rain coming this way. And with the rain and with the wind, the potential for some issues with the tides. The high tide at 12:47 tomorrow, 5.5 feet. Then about 5 feet early in the morning on Saturday. Another high tide 1:30 in the afternoon or so, and another high tide at 1:50 on Sunday morning. So this would be the time we've got to certainly keep an eye when those tides are coming in, because the water's not going to have anywhere to go, because water from the ocean and the wind is going to be piling it up. Well, what to expect? Widespread 8 to 12 inches, potentially up to 14 inches in some cases, certainly flooding a possibility. And I want to show you this last graphic, because this certainly tells the story about who gets what and how much. Well, this is the percent of tropical storm force winds, the probability, and as you can see, really just about everybody is going to see tropical storm force winds all the way away from the coast. As far as the hurricane force winds, that's a little different story. As you see, again, there's a 40% probability that we'll see hurricane force winds right along the immediate beaches of Charleston County, also down towards Edisto and all the way down towards Hilton Head Island. So it looks like it's going to be a rough couple of days for us. We'll continue to weather the storm and hope you'll weather it with us.